Hello everyone, welcome to our project showcase presentation. My name is Jingfei. My colleagues are Boai and Jue.
The first thing we did was to internationalize the game. It took us a long time to understand how the resources of the game are structured and linked to each other. Later, we found out that the game was and should be developed under the Node.js environment. So different from the static assets we dealt with this semester, for assets of this game, its JavaScript, CSS, and HTML are not directly linked through script or style tags. Instead, they were bundled together through Webpack, an open-source JavaScript bundler, and were configured using a config file, webpack.config.js. This generates an output folder dist, which was our working folder at the beginning, and that's why we couldn't make it work. Different JavaScripts are modules, exchanging data through exporting and importing variables and functions. Since the game uses Node.js, we wanted to use the existing internationalization modules, but with complicated bundling and rules, we couldn't find a way to use it. So we ended up using 24 ways, adjusting some code to fit it into the original framework, using exporting and importing.
Now is the second part, wrapping strings. These are the strings in the game. In the head bottom sidebar, the fighting page, the weapon, and the game over. And here are some strings that we can find in the game. We wrapped most of them using inner HTML searching and added underscore and brackets using 24 ways. For some of them, we used their tags by getting element by class name and added these texts. But some of the strings, we cannot find them throughout the program. So we have to search for its definition, like type, slot, and rarity. And then we added some codes so that we can include the strings that we can localize. And here is the Chinese version of the localization, and it is how it looks in the game.
Finally, after wrapping all the strings, we created a locale file and it stores our three translations, Japanese, Chinese, and Russian. Intuitively, we want to create a language switcher to toggle between the three options. We tried drop-down list, but there is still some issues happening in the 24 ways. After training our knowledge in Node.js syntax and JavaScript language, we wrote switch logic and added an event listener. Despite all this, we failed at switching. This is the final and the only challenge remaining to the end of the project. Looking back to our work, there are several lessons learned. First, read before acting. In the very beginning, we thought about using 24 ways to start, and we went about reviewing the week 7 homework for quite a bit of time until we read and realized this is a Node.js game. Yes, package.json is your best friend if you want a place to start and plan big for the project. Second, techniques about finding strings, which has been elaborated fully by my colleague Boai. Third, always ready to learn something new. We learn about Webpack and Node.js via researching, and then we self-learn quite a lot beyond the scope of classroom. This is the most important, and that's why we managed to complete this project with quite a bit of success in the end.